I joined the service, and when you're in the service, you get your military buddies and your friends and things of that nature. And for those 4, 5, or 6 years, or however many years you in there or you're stationed together, y'all hang together until you form a pact. And you think that it's a relationship, but you find out that it's only an association, especially when trouble starts coming, or even when there's a separation of time. If you was truly my friend and you went another way or in another state or another area, I would make every effort to stay in contact. Because I want to know how my friend is doing. And I want to make sure if you're going to celebrate something, let me know. I travel some miles to be with a friend. I'm not traveling a block for an associate. Unless it's what? Convenient for me. But I would look out, and then when I began to realize that folks weren't reaching back, then I was expending my energy in a relationship that really did not exist. Because I was confused as to the difference between relationship and association. And so there's no way that I could suffer with them one-sided. So that means if I'm suffering and they are my associate, they really don't care about my pain. But now my friend who has relationship, that's different. Relationship says that I'm with you always, even unto the end. So I'm not about to bail when things get rough. Because see, I'm your friend, but the only way he can truly or she can truly be a friend is y'all have to go through some things together. Because they call them, you got your fair weather friends, right? Well, that's really just an associate. And so I began to look at this thing because I was trying to figure out, I don't mind suffering for Christ if I understand why I'm suffering. If I understand the pain that's involved. If I understand the process that I need to go through to get closer to the cross. So I looked at some words. I looked up relationship. Relationship says a connection, association, or involvement. And you'll find the same words because these words have been polarized as a regular capture of what a definition is, but it does not take the full intake of what it truly is. It says a connection between persons by blood or marriage. But we know relationship goes further than that. An emotional or other connection between people. And so it gets into these kind of things. It talks about some synonyms, dependence, alliance, kinships, affinity, relationships. It goes on, and I look at association and said the act of association or the state of being associated. An organized body of people who have an interest, activity, or purpose in common or a society. But I like this astrology or astronomy definition. It says a sparsely populated group of between 10 and 1,000 young stars of similar spectral type and common origin that are moving too fast to form a permanent gravitational bound system. I like that one because it's really what an associate is. A group of people moving too fast to even know who each other is. You know when you're out there in the world and you're doing your dirt, you're not hanging with friends, you realize that, right? You're hanging with associates. See, associates will drink with you, smoke with you, party with you, do everything with you as long as it's what? Convenient for them. Matter of fact, an associate, especially, one thing I learned while I was out there a little bit, that associates love when you buy. That's right, Doc. They're going to hang with you as long as you buy. And they may call a friend call, but as long as you buying the drinks, you buying the weed, I'm with you. But let the weed dry up. Let the liquor be gone. Let the partying stop. See, an associate will help you divvy up money for gas. Until you ain't taking them nowhere no more. I don't have nothing for you, man. But a friend will give you money even when he ain't going nowhere with you. And so you have to begin to create and understand the relationships you are creating. It's one reason why I like that the men got a chance to hang out. Because we are creating relationships. Do you realize the more relationships that the men create, the stronger the body of Christ becomes? Because when you can get men on the same page and with like minds, you got an awesome group that cannot be stopped. And what happens is, ladies, you understand, because you benefit from a man who is spiritually and holistically together versus ones who are not. Because his partners follow the same Savior that he's followed. And so you're getting a man who is close to God and has a right mindset and is able to present himself to you a whole lot better. But if you fool with somebody outside, you get what you asked for. So in this, Christ is establishing to his disciples, because he's already gotten up. But he's saying, look, I'm giving you a charge. I'm commanding you to go out. And I have the authority and the power in which to command you. And so if I'm going to send you out, I'm going to equip you and qualify you. But you got to stay in me. And so they had to have what with him to understand? They had to have a relationship. See, there was one in the group who did not have a relationship. He had an association. See, I know, I know Jesus. That's my boy. I've been there with him when he did all his miracles and things of that nature. You know, I sat with him, I ate with him. You know, when it came time to betray him, I ain't had no problem with that because I was an associate. See, even though I hung with him, I didn't know him. I didn't take the time to investigate who I was hanging out with. I just went along with everybody else because it seemed like the right one to follow. And he was calling all them, so I said, well, why can't I be in the number? And Jesus, knowing who he was picking. You know, I said sometimes keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. So Jesus had handpicked Judas, knowing full well that he was just an associate. He's talking to us. See, we get so caught up in people and appearances, on how things look, on how I look to folk, on how I got it all figured out. You know the man, oh, I'm straight. Oh yeah, I'm good. I don't need nothing on. Because I'm sure not going to be talking to you about what I need. Especially if we just associates. Because you're going to take all my little business and use it against me the first time you have an opportunity to. In order for Christ to say, I'm sorry, because what he said was, I'm with you. And of course that you had a plurality because he was talking about all the disciples. I am with you even until the end. With you, with, after, behind. The Greek word is meta, meaning I am behind you. If you go before me, I'm after you. But I will back you up 100%.